Hello, everybody. It is Eric. It's week 3 of the CVL Project. It's my turn to speak. I'm here to answer Getty's questions. What are your influences for getting into music, and what influenced you to play the genre you normally play? As I've said, I think I said this in previous videos, my dad was the earliest memory I have of any kind of music entering into my life and having an influence on me. He would play Lead Belly on his guitar, and I remember just being really young, like barely even young to understand what music was, and just really loving the sound of it. My mom also would play classical music in the house. Again, I didn't really understand it. I didn't really have any appreciation for it, of course. But it still was a big influence in my life. It still had a lot of enjoyment for me at that age, and it remains a lasting influence on me to this day. Another influence would be that my entire family plays an instrument. And perhaps this is, again, accredited to my mother because she actually requires all of us to play an instrument at least through high school. It's kind of funny that I'm the only person in my family who has gone on to seek music as a profession because like we're all required to do it. So you think that at least there would be at least two of us who are going into this as a career, but only I am. But so we all play instruments. Dad plays the guitar, as I've said. My mom, she plays the trumpet as well. Not too much anymore. My older sister used to play the viola. She hated it, but she was amazing at it. Like easily the most talented musician in our entire family. So my younger sister plays saxophone, and my younger brother plays the trumpet. He used to play the trombone, but he hated it so much that my mom finally let him switch to trumpet, which is nice because I'm able to give him lessons every now and then, which is really good teaching experience, especially since I'm going to be teaching kids his age someday. Um, the biggest influence for getting into music would definitely have to be my best friend, Jeffrey Krylan. This is going to sound really sentimental and cheesy, so forgive me for this 3 minute rant. But Jeff and I met in band camp freshman year of high school. It's amazing how far away that feels. And he was just a really great player, and he had a really great work ethic from the very start. The best thing about the biggest contribution he made to my musical career was that he really pushed me. He was a real friend in that regard. He continues to push me, but he definitely pushed me back then. I was pretty arrogant. I was pretty cocky. I didn't really think I had to practice. He and I were getting the top scorers in the band without missing a beat. So I was getting really cocky about it. But he definitely told me like you gotta start practicing. Like that's not how art works. That's not how music works. You can't just coast on your own talent. So I really appreciated that. It definitely urged me to keep working. And Jeff's interest in music actually went through the roof our sophomore year, and he started practicing. I would say at least 2 hours a day. Sometimes he would practice late in the evening when he was supposed to be doing homework. But I mean, obviously it turned out okay for him. And that further inspired me to just sit down in a practice room and really practice just as hard as he was practicing, and to really get the most I could out of my trumpet playing. And my musical career instantly took off. I made the top band. I made the top jazz band. I was first my junior and senior year. And then I joined the Merit School of Music, which was arguably an even bigger influence on me than Jeff. I think I mentioned that in previous videos too. It had amazing teachers, some of the best in the nation. Brian Polachek, Timothy Reardon, Paul Lowry. They were all just fantastically knowledgeable, and they did so much for for my playing and just my overall ability as a musician. And I was heavily involved in there, and I would not, yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It was amazing. Um, so to move on to the second question, what influenced you to play the genre you normally play? Well, I guess as far as the trumpet goes, I normally play classical. So there are plenty of trumpet players out there that have really inspired me to be the best classical player I can be. Phil Smith, he is currently my favorite trumpet player. Chris Martin, Maurice Andre, Sergei Nakaryakov. I can't really pronounce that. They all influenced me to just be an excellent player and try to produce really great tone and articulation. And of course, there are at least like 5 or 6 other players that I'm not mentioning here for the sake of time, but I'm sure my other trumpet buddies out there know who I'm talking about. I play a little bit of jazz, as I mentioned, and Wynton Marsalis was a big influence, Louis Armstrong, and of course the great Miles Davis influenced me to get into jazz. Um, but, I'm willing to play any kind of genre, really. I mean, uh, I would love to be able to get into any kind of genre in regards to the trumpet, fusion or funk or anything like that. And hopefully, as I grow older and my skills expand and I'm able to play more instruments, hopefully by the time I'm out of school, I'll be able to play the drum set, the piano, and the guitar. I really, really want to learn those three. That would be amazing if I could play those. Um, but once I do learn those instruments, hopefully, I can play any kind of genre because I mean, how much fun is life when you can play any kind of genre? So, yeah, those are the questions. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next week.